What's up, guys? Merry Christmas. I'm hoping that you are enjoying the holiday. And if you're watching this, then I'm already gone to work. I should probably put those words together a little faster, but yes, I will be working on Christmas Day. It is what it is. But I got it all planned out to where I should still be able to watch my kids open the gifts. And so we should be good on that front. But I wanted to create this video. I don't need to. I could literally just go to bed right now, do the whole Christmas thing, and just be done with it. But I wanted to put something together to just, do something. As a lot of you know, I haven't put out a video in a good couple of weeks now. And this is merely because it's kind of like the calm before the storm. It's not a lot going on in the industry, in the pinball hobby, but that's all about to change as we reach the end of this year, and we're going to start in first quarter, and we got a lot of stuff about to hit close to and around the same time. And I've just got a lot of bullet points here. I've reached out to some of the manufacturers or people that work there, as well as some rumors, and we're going to go through a little bit of that. I don't plan on this being a really long video, but let's just dive right in. So some of these are going to be pretty quick, so let's just go ahead and hit with barrels of fun. As of right now, they're still making their labyrinths, and no complaints. If people are enjoying the game, people are enjoying the quality of the game that they're getting. I have been in touch with David over there about doing a tour of the facility. We have just not been able to line up our schedules. Hopefully, maybe even next month, I will be able to make it down there. So stay tuned for that. Turner Pinball. They are building games and they are getting them shipped out. Honestly, they're getting them shipped out so quickly that they better be on a whitewood for their next game at this point in time. I want to say they're about 20, maybe even 25% through their 100 games. Because I told them when I was there, I was like, you need to keep posting on social media every time you ship the games out per week, or whenever you send a bunch of games out. Let people see that you're doing it. That keep the momentum going. And Chris has been doing that. So by all means, keep it up, Chris. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do next. So now let's go into American Pinball. And there's been a lot of news, speculation, rumors, and everything that have been stirring up. And we had the most recent podcast with David Fix on there on Loser Kid. They had a lot of really good questions, and a lot of you that watched it, I shared it because I felt that this was the most candid that David Fix has been with a podcast in particular, and maybe a little too candid, in my opinion, because towards the end, those last 5 or so minutes was almost a little bit like a feeling of defeat. And it really got me wondering about American Pinball, David Fix in general. I mean, so it kind of makes me wonder where American Pinball's at and what their future is going to be like. Because it still kind of seems like, even from David Fix's own mouth, that who knows? Anything could happen. And with that, it doesn't give the buyers very much confidence in the upcoming products that they will release, or the current ones that are available to purchase. If the customer believes that the company that's building this product may not be around next year, do you think they're going to want to buy their game knowing that there's a possibility that there will not be parts available or customer service? And I've been meaning to reach out to you, David, if you're watching this. I'm sure you are. I have your number, yes. But it's like every time I'm about to call you, something comes up. We'll connect eventually. We'll get there. Now it's the holidays, and I don't want to talk shop with you on the holidays. I'm going to let you enjoy your holiday. But post-Christmas, expect a call from me. And I mainly just want to ask you what the F is going on. But anyways, from what I can tell you, and because this has not been direct information from me, but mainly through the grapevine to me, it looks like their next game, Cuphead, will be their best game since Houdini. That's my opinion on basically what their best game was Houdini. I really enjoyed that game. From what I've been told, this looks like it's supposed to be their best game since then. So there is that. The game is physically done, but they're still working on code. And we can possibly see this game. I would anticipate this game being... It's not going to be a pinball at the beach. So I would say late February, early March. We should definitely be able to play this game at Texas Pinball Festival. If American Pinball's still around. That's basically the current status and what's going on with American Pinball. I mean, in case you haven't heard also, in the interview, there have been layoffs. And so when you have things like that, where they're bleeding employees, it really does make you wonder what the hell's going on. Dutch Pinball, or DPX, I got a message from Melvin today. Basically, there will be an official update on social media next week, but I can tell you that basically majority of the parts, if not all the parts, have been ordered or on order for Alice, and they're getting things ramped up in preparation to start build. They still at this time plan to begin building in mid-January. So, in a way, they're already going to be a little bit behind from what they stated. They did say January is when they would begin building. Not like January 1st, but they would be begin building in January. But if you go by how many games they can build per week in a year, holidays and all of that, I don't know if they're going to get all 500 done in the year of 2025. But they keep moving the games out, getting them, and everybody's enjoying it, and the build quality's there. I'm sure those that are still waiting on their game towards the end of 2025 won't mind waiting a little bit longer. Now let's talk about Spooky Pinball. They have gone up when it comes to reputation and just interest in general with their latest title of Evil Dead. This game, from like telling you about it, what I could tell you about it before the game released, they obviously nailed theme integration with it, and it's on par for what Spooky does when it comes to theme integration. But I think this one in particular, like I stated, this was like their best game yet. I'm gonna try not to stop using the whole "it's their Godzilla" thing, but I would say that this is their best yet, and every game after this will be compared to Evil Dead. They have had their game on Project Pinball raffle 3 times now. So that also says basically the demand for this, and the game is still selling to this day. And like basically the thread for it, the hype thread, is still going strong. People are loving what they're seeing, talking about what they're going to be putting into the game in the future. That we've had Corwin do a stream on it within the last couple of weeks, and I'm hoping to be able to play this game in a couple of weeks myself. That is part of what I will be going over here pretty soon, is that I do have plans to visit Spooky Pinball, and so I'll be able to get my hands on Evil Dead. Jersey Jack Pinball. So, is it just me, or did like Avatar, the interest and the hype fall so fast ever since Expo? And that's the funny thing, is at Expo, not a lot of people were really talking about the game either. It's not like they were talking bad about it. Not like, oh, it's a horrible game or it doesn't shoot very well. It's just like people would play it, but they weren't, discussing it, waiting in line, and all of that. That wasn't going on. People were talking about other games like X-Men and Ninja Eclipse and Alice, but you didn't hear a lot of Avatar. And that still kind of goes to this day on Facebook, on the threads. Not a lot of people are hyped or excited about Avatar. And you would think that the CEs, the people buying those, would be getting all hyped on it, but it looks like people are already selling their spots to basically prepare for their next title, which is Harry Potter, which we should be seeing in February. And I don't know if this is just me also, but I want to ask you guys, have you been noticing on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, that there is a lot of sponsored ads by Jersey Jack Pinball. They are buying ad space like crazy, like it's just going out of style. I don't see any other manufacturer buying social media ad space. It's always Jersey Jack. Ads galore. It's always like sponsored by or ad. It's always Jersey Jack. So they're buying up a lot of ad space for sure. So it's and there's the whole XP program that they're trying to do with the FECs. We'll see how that goes. They're reaching to a different, demographic. I don't know a lot of FECs, at least around me, that are willing to spend $100,000 plus on that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It may be a hit, and it most likely won't be. And they finally finished Pirates of the Caribbean Code, so that's something to give them a little bit of a nod to. But it took them 6 years, which is a little ridiculous. I don't even know if there's a good, how do you go, well, this is why. I don't think it should take 6 years to complete a code, but if any other game isn't complete by Jersey Jack, that kind of gives you a timeline and a little bit of hope that maybe they will finish it. May take 6 years, but they'll get there. So let's finish this up with the big dog, Stern Pinball. Now, they have not basically done any kind of teaser or release for their upcoming Cornerstone, but I do have information in regards to their upcoming title, which we should be seeing a teaser on in the next couple of days. The information that was told to me is that we should be getting the teaser on the 27th. Now, what the teaser is more than likely going to be is their typical, more audio kind of thing, and then it's going to show the Dungeons and Dragons logo and then Stern Pinball and the date of when the full reveal is going to be, which I would assume would be the oncoming Monday or Tuesday, which would be, where's my mouse at? I would say the 30th or 31st, we would probably get the full trailer of the game. And then the week after that is going to be CES. And that's when they're also going to have people coming to the factory to play this game. And I'll just go ahead and say it. It's not like I've been told I can't say it. I have been invited to Stern to play their next Cornerstone title. I was on the cusp if I could even go. And I was like, I'm going to make it work. So, but I'm literally going down there, or up there rather, and coming back, and then I've got to work the next day kind of thing. So I can't stick around for a great deal of time when I do go up there. And the trip is being paid for by my Patreon. So it's not any kind of Stern's not paying for my trip or anything like that. So it's going to remain unbiased on my thoughts and opinions on the game. Now, when it comes to my thoughts and opinions on the game, I do have a couple of other little tidbits that have been told to me, and take all of this with a grain of salt because it's merely information that's been passed through the grapevine. But from what I'm being told, and I'm hoping it's wrong information, guys, but from what I'm being told is that the Pro for this next game is the way to go. Supposedly, the best value is going to be the Pro model for Dungeons and Dragons. Like I said, I'm not going to be like, oh, I was right or I was wrong. No, this is just information that was passed along to me, that's heard it from someone who heard it from someone, whatever. I'm not going to relay my sources, but all I know is that I hope that isn't I hope that isn't true. But I do like it that a Pro is basically the preference. It's kind of grown with me, even with X-Men, is that I kind of prefer the Pro now. Because you still get all the shots, you're just not getting the fancy little fingers. Seems a little weird to say it that way, but I just like the idea that you're not missing any shots. You're getting all of that, you're just not getting the extra mechs that move and do little extra stuff there. But I digress. But we will be seeing this title at Pinball at the Beach, and we will get Spooky's Evil Dead. We will not be seeing Cuphead, because the game's not ready yet. And Barrels of fun. We're not going to be seeing that game at Pinball at the beach, but hopefully before TPF, maybe. I don't know. But as I said at the beginning of the video, this currently is the calm before the storm. Things are about to pick back up, guys. New year, new president, new games. A lot is in the air. And I'm along for the ride to see how the cards fall. This should be interesting. Oh, and I almost forgot about Stern vaulting these particular titles. And this was discussed in the Loser Kid Pinball podcast with Seth Davis just recently. People were questioning why these titles, and it's just simple. Look, the licenses come up, then they have to be repurchased or re-upped, more money out of their pocket. And they're not going to re-up a license if the demand isn't there. The distro has talked to Stern every week and definitely every month to discuss sales, demand, all that jazz. And they allocated all their data together, and they came up with these particular titles where the demand has diminished enough to where they don't need to keep a production line going to replenish stock. So it's just simple math of just like demand isn't there for these titles at the current time, and there's no sense of re-upping a license. And they also want to kind of like dwindle down the available stock and current modern like live row of games that they have available. They want to like narrow down people's choices when they go visit a distributor, basically. Too many options can sometimes be overwhelming. So they kind of want to narrow it down, limit people's choices. That was something that Seth mentioned also. So we'll see how that goes. So I've got no problems with these games being vaulted. It doesn't mean that they're not going to make them anymore. It means they're just like, you know what, we're putting them away. We're not going to make them, and we'll revisit here in a couple of years to see if demand has gone up to enough to where we should re-up the license and start pumping some more of the games out. But again, guys, I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I will be hopefully doing another video before the end of the year. Like I said, if we get especially teases for upcoming titles, then obviously we're going to have something to talk about. But of all the things that I have listed here, what has you most excited? What game piques your interest the most? What factory do you think is doing the best at this current point in time? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.